I said, I am tired of looking at TV, watching them in trouble, watching the police arresting them, watching them committing crimes. This has to stop.
It's such a special program because it's like an organization that actually looks out for you, and it grows us to be, it takes us from being boys to young men.
The 5,000 Role Models of Excellence project has given millions of dollars in scholarships as a way to increase higher education access and success for thousands of young men. Tonight, we are grateful for the Miami Dolphins' gift of a new laptop computer for every Wilson scholar.
This means a lot for my future. This will propel me so far in life and give me so many opportunities. I can't wait to start the academy.
Hi, my name is Dr. Marcus Bright. Join us as we explore the nation's premier dropout prevention and mentorship program, the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence. Congresswoman, what motivated you to start the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence in 1993?
Well, Dr. Bright, it was, I was a school principal, and my school population was 1/3 African American, 1/3 Hispanic, and 1/3 Anglo. And for some reason, out of the whole school, and we called the school the Little United Nations because we had so many ethnicities in our school. But that little black boy stuck out like a thumb. And every morning I would have to get to school early. So when the bus came to bring the children from the North County area, they brought them in for the integration purposes. I would have to be standing at the door to hug these little boys because they were just terrible. So I began to question them and ask them, why? Why don't you listen to your teacher? Why won't you do your homework? And every time I sat down in my office to have a conference with a parent or a teacher, it was because of a black boy. So I knew that this had to stop. And I said, tell me what's going on. So they didn't know. So I began to do home visits. And I found out that most of these boys didn't have not one male in their lives. They did not have grandpa, an uncle, a daddy, or no one to actually teach them how to behave, or they could mimic or try to be like. So one morning I was coming to school and something came to my mind and I said, God, I just hope Timothy doesn't come to school today. Because if he comes to school today, it will destroy my entire day. And then God said to me, Frederica, if that's the way you feel about Timothy, how do you think the teachers in your school feel? And you're a black woman, and this is a little black boy. So I said, I've got to do something. So I'm from Miami. I have tons of friends. So I called all of my high school friends. I said, I have these little boys in my school. I need help. They need role models. They need you. So they came. And when they came, the boys changed. Right before my eyes, they changed. And I put them in little neckties, and they weren't red. I didn't know about that yet. But I put them in some ties and little shirts, and we raised them up, and we praised them, and we hugged them, and we loved them, and they changed. I said, this is the key. So when I was elected to the Miami-Dade County School Board, my first item of business on the school board was the 5,000 role models. But my last day there, as I was leaving, there was a little boy named Javaris who laid his whole body across the hood of my car so that he wouldn't miss me. And so I said, Javaris, it's night. Why are you still here? So he said, Miss Wilson, you can't leave. You can't leave. I said, Javaris, you don't even go here anymore. He said, Miss Wilson, if you leave, these little boys, they don't know what to do. all of them going to prison. I said, Javaris, don't say that. He said, Miss Wilson, they so bad when you not around and these men. And, oh, Miss Wilson, please don't leave. I said, Javaris, I promise you, I will do everything that I can to make sure that your little brother, he had a little brother in kindergarten, and all the rest of these little boys would never have to worry, because I will devote my life to them. So when I was elected to the school board, well, I was elected when I showed up for the school board meeting, I had a board item. And the board item was the 500 African-American male role models of excellence program. No idea what that meant, no idea where I was going with that. And the superintendent said, tell us what you mean, what you're going to do. I said, I have no idea. So one of the school board members said, we don't have any money for that. So I said, you have to understand prevention. There's prevention and there's punishment. I said, so I'm about prevention. So he said, well, we just don't have that kind of money. I said, well, I don't know what kind of money we're even talking about, but I'm not asking you for money. I'm asking for you to pass a concept so that I can reach out to the African-American boys in this community and change their path to prison. After about 2.5 hours of debate, it passed. And I began to think and ponder, what do I do next? So the same men that I had corralled at Skyway, I corralled them in the school board auditorium. And I told them, we've got to do something because this has to stop. So we held hands in the auditorium. It was about 200 men. And one of them prayed. And when he finished praying, he said, God, please don't let us fail. Please don't let us fail. And so everybody took up the chorus. Please don't let us fail. And we just kept repeating that. And God was listening. Because here we are, 25 years later. It is the 5,000 role models of excellence. It is multi-ethnic, like Skyway was, where children are bonded as brothers who look out for each other, where men reach down and pull them up, put them on the right track to greatness, where they're hugged and loved and made to feel that they run this school district. It's just wonderful. This has been quite a journey, Marcus, quite a journey.
Wow, 25 years.
25 years.
Nationally recognized model for dropout prevention and mentorship. What would you attribute the success of the program to?
The only thing I could say is God in his wisdom, knowing what the objective is and knowing that the country needs this. And we've expanded now into other counties of Florida and rolling out in Detroit real soon. It's God. It's partnerships like Miami-Dade College, like all of our colleges, Florida International University, University of Miami, all of our hospitals, our public defender, our state attorney, our police, our superintendent of schools, and we've had 5. Our teachers, our parents, their belief in this program, and I think that the tie, the red tie, is magical. I have seen little bad boys who stand in a line and a man puts that red tie around their neck and they change.
Yeah, the 5,000 Role Models has a long history with Miami-Dade College. Can you elaborate on the way that these two entities have come together for the success of young men in our community?
The partnership is over 24 years, let me just put it that way. Because when I left the school district, I went to Miami-Dade. And we formed this partnership, and we were able to provide young people with scholarships once they graduated from high school. And the president of the college said to them, if you graduate and you have a 2.5 grade point average, you can come to Miami-Dade College free. And by that time, during that time, it was Miami-Dade Community College. It's a partnership that has grown through the years. We take all of our students to the college, and so we start them in the 3rd grade. In the 3rd grade, they go to Miami-Dade.
Early exposure to the higher education process is a critical dimension of what the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence project does. It is well documented that students exposed to the college environment at an early age have a greater chance of not only pursuing college education, but also graduating at accelerated rates.
Thank you so much for being here at Miami-Dade College North Campus in our newly renovated Learning Commons.
I'm glad to be here.
We're so happy to be inaugurating this beautiful space and doing this right here in our very own wonderful space for our students.
Thank you, Dean Perez. Can you talk about your role here at the college?
Absolutely. I have the pleasure of serving as the Dean of Students here at the North Campus. I've been in that role for about 5 years now, and basically I provide oversight and leadership to the Student Support Services Division. Basically anything from admissions to, testing, support, student life, advisement, registration, and basically, as I like to say, anything from when the student first is thinking about going to college all the way through completion.
In June, the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence in Miami-Dade College partnered to provide an early college experience for students here in Miami-Dade County. Can you talk about what took place?
Basically, we offered a 1-week program, intensive immersion experience for our young men to be on campus and really feel like this is their home, because this is, right? We are the community's college, and we wanted them to really not only get a feel that they belong here, but this is their home. And so it really gave the students an opportunity to immerse themselves into career aspects. They learned about being a firefighter, about being behind the camera and exploring the field of TV and production, and looking at how they can involve themselves in programs in criminal justice and all of the different aspects, the sciences, robotics, journalism, and really giving them not just a little taste, but a real, true, deep immersion into that experience throughout the week.
How important is this early exposure to college and career path to students?
We believe education is going to open your world to everything, and that is the key to success. And so being able to see that it's more than just, the traditional careers that exist, which are awesome and wonderful as well, but being able to see that there's a whole world of things that really can capture interest. And I think for being part of the early college experience, really realizing at an early stage in their life to know, this is what I want to do. So it's, I'm in elementary, I go to middle school, from middle school I go to high school, and the next natural step, it's a given, I go to college. It's not a choice. It's almost like it's the obvious next step, because that's how we want them to feel that they're aspiring to be, to pursue, and to explore,
Thank you very much for joining us, Dean Perez, and thank you for your service.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the partnership, and thank you for all the service and everything that you do for our children.
Arnaldo Gonzalez has been with the 5,000 Role Models for several years. Mr. Gonzalez, can you talk about the early college experience that happened here at Miami-Dade College?
This summer we have a new initiative in the 5,000 Role Models that includes students in grades 3 to 12, and it was extremely successful. We decided to partnership with FIU, Florida International University, Miami-Dade North Campus, Barry University, Broward College, South Campus, and Humboldt International University.
Can you talk specifically about the activities that happen here at the Miami-Dade College North Campus?
Well, Miami-Dade is one of the most successful because the students in grade 6 through 8 were able to spend a whole entire week going to all the different careers that they actually have here for students, that were able to meet with mentors, their peers. The experience that they have this year marked the student forever. The professors, the mentors, once again, everybody who worked in the program was delighted. We came here every morning and just listening to the anecdotes and journals was amazing. These students were transformed, and I want to thank, on behalf of Congresswoman Frederica S, Miami-Dade College, North Campus, Dr. Harrison, everybody else that have to do with the program this summer, because our students will be a lot better thanks to Miami-Dade North Campus.
What does it mean to the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence project to have such strong partnerships with Miami-Dade College, with FIU, with Barry University?
You know, it makes such a big difference. When we met with all the presidents in different campuses and different colleges in South Florida, one of the reasons why they actually bought into this new vision was that they learn about college later on in their life. When the students get to know about college in grade 3, you are already planting that seed. And wherever they go to Miami-Dade, Florida International University, the ultimate goal with this partner was to make sure our students are college bound, make sure students will go to college, make sure students believe in themselves, make sure the students, have a future.
What does it do for a student to have a sense of belonging at an institution of higher education?
It really makes a big difference. And what a program does with Miami-Dade is that every child in only 5 days was able to develop that sense of belonging. They were able to say, you know what, this is where I want to be. This place is for me. They know me by my first name. They know where I can go and ask for help. Somebody else will be here for me, opening the doors and letting me know what I need to do and guide me as well.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Gonzalez, for your service and for your time today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
What I can say about this program, they're really strict on education, and that's for a good purpose. It's for us to really succeed, and they don't want us to fall back and to be left out in different situations.
From the 3rd grade, from early college to academic signing day, where high school seniors are awarded scholarships, that via partnership with the Miami Dolphins. Can you talk about the 5,000 Role Models partnership with the Miami Dolphins organization?
We're so proud to be partners with the Dolphins, and they provide so much opportunities for our kids and for our parents. No one really knows how beautiful that stadium is until you go in. And then when the parents come in and the children come in, they're just, wow. So they have opened the doors of the stadium for different activities. We have our police and youth conference there, where we have partnered with all of the police of the community, and the children learn how to respect the police, and the police learn how to respect the children. And then we have our academic signing there. We have our parents come in. They have the best caterers, the best food. The best kept secret in Miami is the best food is at the Miami Dolphin Stadium.
The 5,000 Role Models are fortunate to have the support of many great organizations like the Miami Dolphins. Jason, talk about your role with the Miami Dolphins.
Well, I'm a senior vice president here in the Miami Dolphins. I'm honored to work with an organization led by Stephen Ross, our vice chairman Tom Garfinkel, our head coach Adam Gase, but oversee our communications. So that's our corporate communications, our football communications, along with our community affairs and youth programs. In addition, the social media, website publications. So pretty much any external out-facing thing with the organization I have my hand in. And also we have a committed owner, Stephen Ross, who has a different set of companies as well. So working with him on his soccer initiatives, working with him on stadium initiatives, and events like bringing Super Bowl, college football championships as well.
What made you all want to partner with the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence?
Well, we've had a long-standing relationship with the Congresswoman. She does an amazing job for at-risk young men here in South Florida. The whole idea with us is we wanted to expand our relationship through our Football Unites program. Our owner, Stephen Ross, our players have put in funds to really amplify social justice efforts around community engagement, education, and justice reform. And what better organization to partner with than the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence Project, doing amazing work. And you're really in the community helping change and save lives all throughout South Florida.
The 5,000 Role Models and Miami Dolphins co-hosted a police and youth conference in February. Talk about that.
Well, that was just an amazing event to be a part of. I mean, I've been with the team since 2009, and there was never an event for me that was more fulfilling in terms of what went on. We had over 600 young men, students here in South Florida, 200 police officers that talked about what do you do when you get stopped by the police? How do you want to act? What are the things that are trying to go on? It's really about the shared commonalities between the two groups. And I've really, truly in my heart feel that that event, changed lives and saved lives throughout South Florida. So it was an amazing activity to be a part of. Our players were engaged. Our Vice Chairman and President Tom Garfinkel, our Senior Vice President Nat Moore, Dolphins legend. Such a great day, a great event.
The Dolphins and the 5,000 role models also co-hosted an academic signing day in May. What do you hope to accomplish?
That was my second favorite event, after the Police and Youth Conference, and working with the 5,000 role models is so great. I think really promoting and education, and really that inspiration to inspire education, to have that event where people and students were with their families and with their professors and with their potentially even college professors, really talking about what their next steps, the next 4 and 5 years of their life are going to be, right, and charting that path going forward. Amazing thing to be a part of, and we're excited and invested in those kids' futures.
You were also able to provide the students with laptops. Talk about the readiness portion of them going to college and preparing themselves for post-secondary success.
Well, one of the great things about that, it wasn't just about the event and that you graduated high school. I mean, because you, the Congresswoman, we all expect that, and that's why you're part of this program, to inspire and educate. But what are you going to do when you get there? And having a laptop, having meals, having kits to really help you through on your 4 and 5 year, and maybe even like you being a doctor, the journey that you took, as well, to really help them every step of the way. So the laptops were a great start, but also we want to continue to be engaged, continue to be involved, and continue to help these students forward. We feel honored to have this platform to be in the community, to really help, and we feel honored to work with you as well on these programs.
All right. Hey, thank you very much for joining us, Jason.
No, thank you for having me.
The 5,000 role models love to create positive experiences for students, such as a recent trip to Washington, D.C. In May, 50 students went to Washington, D.C. Can you talk a little bit about that trip?
Wow, that was earth-shaking. We partnered with the children from Parkland, Florida, from the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, the children who were victims of such a horrible tragedy. And we took the children to testify before Congress, and it was called Let the Children Speak. So they came to tell the members of Congress what they felt should happen as far as legislation, as far as what we needed to do for gun violence, to stop gun violence, not only in schools, but to stop gun violence in our communities, where children have the propensity to pick up a gun and shoot another person. And we talked about that. It was such a great day. And this is not the first time that we've taken children to Washington, but this was the first time that we had them testify before Congress. I don't ever remember children testifying before Congress since I've been there, and I couldn't find anyone else who ever saw children come and testify before Congress. So it was a great time in the history of Congress and in the history of the 5,000 role models, and also in the history of gun violence. And partnering with the children from Parkland was a wonderful experience for our boys.
Mr. Ingram, can you talk about what took place on that trip?
Well, every year the 5,000 role models take various students from selected high schools that's in the program to go to Washington, D.C. Usually when we travel to Washington, D.C., we take students to monuments, museums. We also visit the White House in the past. And we just have the students explore the city to learn about various things in the history of Washington, D.C.
What impact do you think the trip to Washington, D.C. and these kinds of trips make on the students?
Well, the impact that the 5,000 role models tries to play on these young students is just an eye-opener. We try to show them experience that they would receive outside of the Miami area. We usually travel to Washington, D.C. We're usually like 50 students, and we tour museums, we tour monuments. I guess you would say the historical places in Washington, D.C.
They also got to see an actual congressional vote. What do you think the importance of seeing the public policy process in action?
I think it was a learning experience for the young men to just see that up and close and personal when they see it on TV.
Thank you very much for your time today, Mr. Ingram.
You're welcome.
I had the pleasure of speaking with 5,000 Role Model of Excellence student Devry Russell, who has been with the program since he was in the 6th grade. Devry, talk about the trip that you made in May with the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence project.
Well, we went up to DC to speak on gun violence in front of Congress and the representatives, and basically just share our experiences with gun violence and our solutions to gun violence.
You were one of the students who actually testified before Congress. What message did you hope to send with your testimony?
I wanted them to know that school shootings weren't the only gun violence situations that needed to be solved. There are gun violence situations that go on in our everyday lives, in our neighborhoods, like right around the corner, and it needs to be solved, not just school shootings.
Can you talk about some of the solutions that you proposed?
Well, one of the solutions that I proposed was gun re-registration, and basically it's just that every time a gun changes owners, that they have to re-register the gun just to keep track of who has what guns in what neighborhoods and where there are.
What was your favorite part of the trip?
My favorite part was seeing how the representatives were so moved by our testimonies. Like, they really felt what we felt, and I feel like they're really going to make a change to it.
During the Washington, D.C. trip, you got to see the Lincoln Memorial, the memorial to Martin Luther King Jr., the new African American History Museum. What are some other aspects of the Washington, D.C. trip that stood out to you?
I think what stood out to me was going to the National Museum for African American History and Culture. It's just so amazing that being that us African Americans went through so much in this country, and for us to have our own national museum, it just really means a lot. It shows that we come a long way. We also got to see the Dr. King Monument and where he actually gave the I Have a Dream speech. It was very moving, a very powerful situation that we were in, and I'm glad that I had the experience.
Thank you very much, Devry, for joining us today, and thank you for tuning in. Students like Devry are what the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence program is all about. What do you see for the future of the program?
Well, I never could see where we are now, so I can't really see nothing beyond what my dreams are. And I guess my dream would be that every boy in America had the opportunity to experience what the boys in the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence experience. And if I could just sell this nation on the idea that it is better to invest in prevention when children are small and nurture them and help them grow. If I can just get that message across to America, we have a magical answer. Watch the boys in the 5,000 Role. And I am so proud to be associated with these little boys, these adolescent boys, these big boys, these grown men, their parents, their family, our partners in the community, and all of the people who support the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence. We love them, we appreciate them, and I speak on behalf of these young boys. They need you. They need you, and they appreciate everything that you give them.
Incredible examples of the tremendous impact that this program has made. The late Aretha Franklin sang about the need for a bridge over troubled water. And this program has certainly been a bridge over troubled water for so many young men in this community, in this country. Congresswoman, thank you for your time, thank you for your service, and thank you for founding the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
If you want to get involved with the nation's premier dropout prevention and mentorship program, the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence Project, give us a call at 305-995-2451, extension 2, or visit www.5000rolemodels.com. We hope that you get involved with the 5,000 Role Models. Until next time.